Alright, so I'm having to restart this video, and I was already worried about time because, yikes, I had a late start this morning. So now I'm even more worried about time because I'm having to restart. We got 25 minutes to get through this review before first period starts. Real quick on number 9, change the fraction instead of negative p over q to negative q over p on A and on D for me. Everything else is set and good. Okay, I'm going to flip back to question number 1. It says, what is the solution set for 2x squared plus 15x minus 11x? First thing we're going to do is set this equal to 0. What's the opposite of minus 11x? Plus 11x to both sides. So we're going to have 2x squared plus 11x plus 15 equals 0. Now what we're going to do is we're going to plug this in our calculator. Work smarter, not harder. I could do it by hand, but I have a calculator. I'm going to plug it in using y equals, and I'm going to go see where those cross. So we're going to plug in y equals 2x squared plus 11x plus 15, and we're going to plug in y equals 0. Okay, I'm looking for where those two lines cross. They cross here at -3 and -2.5. So our answer for this one should be D. And if I'm going a little quick, it's because I've already worked through a bunch of these as well, and I'm restarting. All right, which statement about f of x equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 is true? Y'all, work smarter, not harder. I'm going to plug this into my calculator. So we have f of x equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. If it's talking about zeros, those are your x-intercepts. We have one at -1 and -2.5. None of my answer choices say 2.5. If you want to, you can always type it in and hit the fraction button. It's 5 over 2. So we're looking for the answer choice that says -1 and positive 5.2. So our answer has to be C. It's a calculator question, but make sure you're being careful because you can see they all have those numbers, but the negatives and positives are on different things. So type it in and look carefully. Given g of x equals x squared minus 6x minus 16, which statement is true? Once again, they gave me an equation, so I'm going to go plug that into our calculator here. I'm going to just change this to save me some time. G of x equals x squared minus 6x minus 16. If they're talking about zeros, they want our x-intercepts. So we're looking for the one that says -2 and positive 8. So that should be H. Flip into the back, question number 4. It says the area of a rectangular trampoline is 112 feet squared. The length of the trampoline is 6 feet greater than the width of the trampoline. The situation can be represented by this equation. Bam. Calculator's what that tells me because they gave me an equation. We're going to plug this in using y equals and go see where they cross. So y equals w squared, or you can put x if you want, plus 6w minus 112. And we're going to put y equals 0. Let me zoom out some. Okay, so it's crossing in two different places, -14 and positive 8. It says, what is the width of the trampoline? Does it make sense to have a negative measurement for a width? No. And negative 14 isn't an option anyway. Our answer has to be positive 8. Our answer is C. So your width is 8. Oh my gosh. Let's say they were asking for your length though. I know they didn't, but what if they were asking for it? They told us above that your length of the trampoline is 6 feet greater than the width. So that means width plus 6. So you would have to do, if they asked you for your length, 8 plus 6 equals, was that 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's how they got the 14 answer choice. So make sure you're being careful for what they're asking for. Because if you pick 14, you solve for the length. If you picked 8, you solved for your width. And it's asking you for the width. So down to question 5. So the quadratic function k has linear factors of 3x and x plus 8. What are the zeros of the function? So, well, if I know those are my factors, why can't I just go plug these in? Technically. But we can also solve it. I'm gonna do both. So let's say I wanted to plug these in. So that we are gonna put in y equals, they told us our factors are parentheses 3x parentheses, and they told us our other factor is x plus 8. And if they're looking for your zeros, those are your x-intercepts. We have one at negative 8 and we have one at 0. So our answer should be A. So that's one way we can do it. Is plug those two in our calculator. We can plug in 3x and x plus 8 and then go look at our graph. Your second option is solve it by hand. Solving it by hand is not hard. All that means is setting them equal to 0. 3x equals 0. Well, if I want to solve for x, to get rid of that 3, we divide by 3. X would equal 0. If I want to solve this one, x plus 8 equals 0. The opposite of plus 8, we do opposite operations, is minus 8. X equals negative 8. So either by hand or stick that in your calculator. Okay. The length of a pool is 4 more than the width. So we already know width is W, so we're going to put width plus 4 for my length. The area of the pool is 248. What equation can be used to find the dimensions of the pool if W represents the width? Well, we've done questions like this before. To find the area of a rectangle, you're going to multiply them. So this would be width times the width plus 4 equals 248, or base times height, length times width, whichever you want to call it. Which one matches what we got? A. They just switched where they put their W. Okay. Moving down here, says what is the positive solution to 3x squared minus 30x minus 72 equals 0? So first of all, I can either solve it or I can just stick that in my calculator, y'all, using y equals. Is this whole review calculator? Y equals 3x squared minus 30x minus 72. Oh, why didn't y'all tell me? And then y equals 0. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, so we have a 0, a solution, at negative 2, and we have a solution at 12. They're asking us specifically for the positive solution. So our positive solution is 12. Are there any of these that you actually have to legitimately factor? I'm curious. Y'all, this test should be easy. Okay, which of the following has exactly one solution and that solution is positive? All right, let's go calculator this up. I don't want to do that by hand. Okay, so let's change this to y equals x squared plus 8x. Oh, I'm worried about the time. Plus 16. And I already have my y equals 0 in there. It does only have one solution, but it is at -4. It's not positive. A is out. So now we're going to put minus 8x plus 16. This one's at +4. That's looking pretty good. Let's try just minus 8x. Nope. I already know it has two solutions. It crossed my line twice. Let's try minus 16. Nope, it crossed my line twice. Our answer has to be B. Okay, given the function h of x equals p parentheses p of x plus q parentheses x minus r, what is the solution set for h of x equals 0? Oh, okay. So this one's a little bit trickier, but not bad. These are our two factors where you have to set them equal to 0. So we have p of x plus q equals 0, and we have x minus r equals 0. We are trying to solve for x. So if I want to get this x by itself, even though these are letters, we're still doing opposite operation. What's the opposite of plus q? Minus q to both sides. So we have p of x equals negative q. Now we need to get rid of that p. Remember, p of x means p times x. So if I want to do the opposite, we're going to divide both sides by p. So x is going to equal negative q divided by p. That's going to be one of our answers here. For my other factor, we have x minus r equals 0. Well, if I'm solving for x, we're still doing opposite operations. The opposite of minus r is plus r to both sides. X equals r. Done. So we're looking for the one that has negative q over p and r. So our answer should be A. Scoot it on down. Which statement about f of x equals 4x squared minus 36x plus 81 is true? Yeah, I could solve that by hand and factor it, but like I have a calculator and an equation, so why not? Save me some time. Whoops. Okay, so we got f of x equals 4x squared minus 36x plus 81. Did I do that right? I'm assuming I did it right. Okay. Yes. Yes, okay. Well, it only has one 0, and that's at 4.5. So I'm going to type in 4.5 because none of my answer choices are decimals. I'm going to click on the fraction button. 9/2. And it only has that one 0, so our answer has to be D. There are no other zeros on that graph. Ooh, y'all, I got 10 minutes to finish. I think we're doing good, though. I think I only have, what, 5 more questions? Whew. Okay. The solution set to f of x equals 0 is -3/2 and 5. If f of x represents a quadratic function, what are the linear factors of f of x? Oh, easy, y'all. Okay. They gave us these two solutions. We are doing what we did on Monday where we work backwards. So I'm going to put x equals -3/2 and x equals 5. If I'm working backwards, we're trying to get this set equal to 0 so I can get the factors. I'm going to start with this one because that one's easier. What's the opposite of positive 5 if we're trying to do opposite operation? Minus 5 to both sides. X minus 5 equals 0. That's one of our factors. So B is one of them. For this one, opposite operations, well, we're dividing by 2 over here. So if I want to do the opposite, we're going to multiply both sides by 2. So we're going to have 2x equals negative 3. It's still not set equal to 0. Opposite operation, the opposite of minus 3 is plus 3 to both sides. 2x plus 3 equals 0. Our other factor is D. Flippin'. Y'all, it's another equation question. Plug that in your calculator. I'm recording a video. Is it me? What's that? A video. Hey, awesome. My nails. I don't think I'll be able to hit it. Thank you. We're almost done. So sorry, but I could not pause the video because if I pause it, I would lose all the work I did. Next, and I would have to start all over, and I do not have time. Minus 576. Okay. Let me zoom out. Our zeros are at negative 24 and positive 24. So our answer has to be H. Bam. Oop. Whoop. Okay. Says the function g. I don't know what that is. Anyway, the function gg is defined as f of x equals x plus b squared. Which of the following statements best describes the number of real solutions for f of x equals 0? Oh. Okay. Okay. If I were to solve this, here's what it would look like. We would have x plus b and x plus b, right? Because it says x plus b squared. They're exactly the same. If I were to solve this, x plus b equals 0. If I want to get the x by itself, opposite operation, the opposite of plus b is minus b to both sides. X would equal negative b. Do you agree if we did the same thing to this one, we would get the same exact answer? If you're getting the same answer for both factors, you only have one solution. Our answer is D. Because these are both going to get you the same exact thing. Okay. Factored form. Which of the following statements is true? Okay, so looks like we got here a 0 at 1, 0. It looks here like here we have a 0 at negative 3, 0. So they're either asking us about factors or A. So let's go ahead and get our factors here. So we have x equals negative 3, and we have x equals 1. If I'm solving it, we have to set it equal to 0. The opposite of minus 3 is plus 3 to both sides. X plus 3 equals 0. So F is one of our answers. The opposite of a positive 1 is we're subtracting 1 to both sides. X minus 1 equals 0. So our other answer is D. Okay, now they're asking us to solve for our A value here. Remember to solve for A, here's what we're doing. Y equals A, parentheses, x plus 3, x minus 1. We need a point from that graph. Usually the vertex is a good option. So for example, we could use -1, -4, but you could also use other points as well. XY, also we call that HK, just to review, it's your Hello Kitty. Okay, so if I want to plug that into my equation here to solve for A, that would be -4 equals A parentheses, -1 plus 3 parentheses, -1 minus 1. And I can either do this in my head or plug the parentheses part in my calculator to see what I get. So we would put in -1 plus 3 parentheses, -1 minus 1. Oh my gosh. So we got -4. So we would have -4 equals -4a. If I'm solving for a, we divide both sides by -4. 1 would equal a. So our answer is B. Flip into the, oh my god, I got 4 minutes. Ooh. Okay. The solutions to p of x equals 0 are x equals -7 and x equals 7. Y'all, this is when we actually have to factor. Okay, let's do it. So x equals -7, x equals 7. Opposite operations here. X plus 7 equals 0. Opposite operation here. X minus 7 equals 0. So here's what we got. From there, you can either FOIL it or box it, your choice. If you're a FOIL person, x times x is x squared. X times -7 is -7x. 7 times x is positive 7x. Positive 7 times -7 is -49. Combine your x's. We would get x squared minus 49. My answer is F. If you are someone who likes to box, let me go ahead and box that for you real quick. X plus 7, x minus 7. X times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x. X times -7 is -7x. -7 times positive 7 is -49. Combine our x's. So we still get x squared minus 49. Either way. For my last one, they gave us an equation and they're asking about zeros. I'm going to go plug that in with 2 minutes left and we're going to finish on time, y'all. Depending on how quick I can type. F of x equals x squared minus 36. So my zeros, which are my x-intercepts, are at -6 and +6. So our answer should be H. Bam. Done, y'all. With 2 minutes to spare.